nucleophile we need. So here, if for SN2 reaction, you need strong nucleophile. Okay, you need strong nucleophile. What? How you can say that one is strong? So that one should bear negative charge. Okay, negative charge nucleophile. Okay, like sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide, Cn minus Na plus. So Cn is strong nucleophile because it possesses negative charge. So sodium cyanide is the strong nucleophile. So this one will not work out in SN1 reaction. This is strong. If this one is present, SN1 reaction is ruled out. Okay, we cannot say that particular compound will undergo SN1. So definitely, if sodium cyanide is present on the arrow, so definitely you have to say this is SN2 reaction. So this is the second criteria about nucleophile initiates for SN1 SN. So now we will go for the E1 and E2. Okay, so as we know, SN1 is resembling with E1. Okay, as we know, SN1 is resembling with E1, SN2 is resembling with the E2 in some criteria. So now SN1 we needed weak nucleophile. Okay, so for SN1 we needed weak nucleophile. Now the same thing we will go for the E1. Okay, E1. Here we needed base, not nucleophile. Okay, I said base. Okay, base, not nucleophile, but that one is also we needed weak base. Okay, here is I will write here we needed weak base. Okay, so here weak base you can write here in that or if this sign is present, it indicates or plus can say okay or in elimination we need weak base plus okay then only compound elimination now next one for as this one this one is there is so here what type of base we need strong base like sodium methoxide, strong sodium methoxide, or you can say NaOH, strong. Okay, so for elimination we need strong base. So E2 and E1. So here we need base. In elimination reaction we need base. Okay, so for E1 reaction we need weak base like SN1. We need weak nucleophile and for and heat for E1, but we don't need heat in SN1 reaction. Pay attention. In E2 reaction we need strong base like sodium methoxide or sodium hydroxide like that. Okay, so keep all these things. So we are differentiating these things. So on the basis of this one you can distinguish in between SN1, SN1, E2. Now next criteria, what we'll need for this reaction, what will be next requirement for SN1, SN2, E1, E2. We finished with nucleophile. On arrow you have written what nucleophile you need, base or nucleophile, either nucleophile or base. What next thing to carry reaction is just you are always you are adding. Okay. Reaction some reactions but in most of the reaction you have to solve. So there are different types of solvents. Major types is okay. So I have provided list. You have to also list what is polar, what is the definition of non-polar solvent, what are they. So go in deep. What are those solvents? What are the types of solvent? If you know what is solvent, what is this given around what is the type of the solvent, then definitely you can decide whether SN1, SN2 or even E. Okay, so next criteria for this reaction is solvent. With substitution unimolecular reaction, we need highly polar solvent. Okay, highly polar solvent. So what is the definition of polar solvent? So next you can go in a polar solvent. There are two different types: polar protic solvent as well as polar aprotic solvent. Okay, polar protic solvent. So here for SN1 reaction we need polar protic solvent. Okay, this is very important differentiating criteria need for SN1 reaction. Apart from the SN2 reaction is, for SN1 reaction we need polar protic solvent. So polar protic is nothing but, protic solvent is nothing but the solvent which has OH or NH bond. Okay, so these things, so these just lone pair. Okay, so protic solvent is nothing but in the solvent in which the solvent possess OH or NH bond. Like for example, I have written here polar protic solvent. One more biggest example is ethanol. Okay, polar protic solvent, ethanol or methanol is the very good example of polar protic solvent. Now this is contrast to the SN2 reaction. In SN2 reaction, we need polar solvent, but it shouldn't be protic. Okay, so in SN2 reaction, we need polar solvent, but we need polar aprotic solvent. Okay, polar aprotic solvent. For example, of polar aprotic means we don't need the bond like OH and NH in polar polar solvent. Okay, that must be polar, but it shouldn't have OH or NH bond. Okay, polar means, what is the definition of polar? Polar means differentiation of differentiation of or you can say charge separation in between electronegative atom and electropositive atom. Now here in case of, I will give example of DMSO and acetone. What is the structure of acetone? Acetone is like, like dimethyl acetone. This is, now here what is, this is delta negative and this carbon is delta positive. So this is charge separation. Okay, so this is polarity. Here you can say positive charge is revolving here, or and negative charge is oxygen is pulling electron density towards himself. Oxygen is pulling electron density towards. That's why there is a more charge separation in between carbonyl bond. So here you can write here 3 lone pairs present on the oxygen. So this is polar aprotic. Here is, you cannot see any OH bond like that. Okay, CH bonds are there, but they are not polar. Okay, so this is aprotic, completely reverse to the polar protic. So this is dimethyl sulfoxide. The same here, sulfur and oxygen, dimethyl sulfoxide structure. It also doesn't have polar bond like OH and NH. So SN2 reaction we need polar aprotic solvent. In SN1 reaction we need polar protic solvent. This is a very good differentiation in between SN1 and SN2. On the basis of only solvents on the which is giving below the arrow, you can identify, okay, the given reaction is SN1 or SN2. Okay, this is very important criteria to distinguish in between SN1 and SN2 reaction. Okay, so now we will see now what will be the case in case of E1 and E2 reaction. So I have told already that E1 is resembling with SN1. Here for elimination reaction unimolecular, we also need here highly polar solvent. Okay, highly polar solvent here we need. And for elimination E2 reaction, polarity doesn't matter much. Polarity is not important. For elimination reaction, polarity of solvent is not important, that of. Okay, so this is the idea about this solvent. Okay, so we have finished 3 criteria: starting material, what type of starting materials we need, what type of nucleophile we need, or what type of base we need for elimination, nucleophile for substitution reaction, what is the type of solvent we need for nucleophilic substitution elimination reaction. Now next one. Okay, you have added starting material, after that you have added solvent, after that you have added nucleophile or your base. Okay, now what will be done? Okay, now your reaction has started in your RB flask. Okay, so as once reaction started, what will happen in that reaction? Okay, that is means the reaction mechanism. What will be the reaction mechanism? Okay, so for study the reaction mechanism, so first thing will come in your mind as you know the mechanism of SN1 reaction. You know that SN1 reaction is two-step reaction. Hmm? SN1 reaction is two-step reaction, and there is a formation at one first step. There is a formation of carbocation, which is positively charged, having sp2 hybridization, and carbocation is more acidic. Okay, so I am writing here. So in SN1 reaction, there is a formation of carbocation. So what are the barriers for this SN1 reaction? We will see what are the barriers for SN1, SN2, E1 and E2. So in SN1 reaction, it's two-step reaction. Obviously, there is a formation of carbocation, and we have to pay attention on the stability of the carbocation. First of all, you have to study deeply what is the carbocation species. It's very important intermediate in organic chemistry, carbocation. Okay, so in so many reaction carbocation is forming, and this plays very biggest role in organic reaction mechanism. Okay, so carbocation stability, as we know, so the tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary carbocation, and secondary carbocation is more stable than the primary carbocation. Okay, so if you will compare this carbocation, is obvious with the if this alkyl halide and carbocation, these are interrelated. Okay, if you will see alkyl halide, we need tertiary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, and primary. So tertiary alkyl halide reacts faster in SN1. So obviously, if we will take tertiary alkyl halide, it will give the tertiary carbocation. If we will take secondary alkyl halide, it will give the secondary carbocation. If primary alkyl halide, it will give the primary alkyl halide. So initially, these things will give. So stability of carbocation also in that way, in that manner. Okay, so the carbocation stability matters in SN1 and E1. Okay, SN1 resembling with E1. So in both reaction in SN1 and E1, there is a formation of carbocation as a first step. Okay, so this is carbocation stability. Now here carbocation is, you can see right here, this is sp2 hybridized. Carbocation is